All right, and we're back. So here we go. Now you guys can actually see the figure a little bit better, at least the gray on it. And also, one thing I did want to mention to you guys, McFarlane's a genius, or the design team is anyway. This is the very first time I'm noticing this, but if you look around the suit, there's like these bullet holes, which is so cool. I never ever noticed that. And it's just small details like that that makes McFarlane figures so cool in my opinion. Like look at that. It's another bullet hole. So who knows, maybe I might add a little bit of blood splashes there. I know when I first talked about customizing this figure, I was actually thinking about doing blood splotches like on his boots a little bit, maybe across that bat symbol. But now that there's those bullet holes, I may, in fact, um, add blood splotches there. I don't know. Make him look kind of zombified, really creepy, but really cool at the same time. So the next thing, guys, I am going to be painting his gauntlets here and his boots, and we're going to try. This is either really going to work or going to look terrible. But what I was gonna say, and actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna switch gears on that. So originally, I was thinking about painting the boots and the gauntlets purple. Instead of that, though, why don't I just do the blue? The blue that we were going to instead paint the suit. Why don't I do everything blue? So then it's like the real classic colors. You've got the blue and the gray, you know? So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll switch gears with that. And here we go. All right. So in the spirit of just, always giving thanks to what we're thankful for, I am quite curious. What's something that you guys are thankful for? Like you right now that's watching this, if you've made it this far, tell me something. Like give me something that you're thankful for, whether that be family, friends, or you're just thankful to be alive. Or maybe you're not thankful for that. I know we live in a crazy world, especially these days, but still, I do believe in the humanity of everybody, and at the end of the day, I honestly, believe we all have something to be thankful for. Whatever that might be, just comment below and let me know. I'm quite curious. And let's see here. I'm gonna get those boots. And yeah, the reason why I had to pause this video, guys, I'm not sure if I got to explain it in the last video, or not the last video, but the last segment right before I cut this out. But the reason why is because I have to go over this multiple times. So when you paint something, especially when you're doing a figure, if you don't go over it, maybe about 3 different times, I would say that's about how many times I go over it on average when I'm doing a figure. It will just not last. At least those are the results that I've seen from my personal experience. Maybe someone else out there, you've had, you've tried your hand at customizing figures, and maybe your experience has been different. But for me, it's something that I seem to notice is if you don't have layers and you don't use any sort of varnish or sealant, it's another word, then it could get you in trouble, because then your figure starts falling apart as far as like the paints, the colors, they start falling apart, they start chipping and cracking, and and it ends up not looking the best. So anyway, just a little bit of a pro tip, I guess, if you are planning on taking your hand at this, I highly recommend doing multiple layers of paint in the areas that you are painting, and also using varnish. Find a good varnish or make one yourself. You can make one. You'll have to do some research as to how, because there's various different ways. I know some people like to mix different varnishes. I've actually got my own solution that I created with a few different supplies and a few different products as well. So if anyone out there in the community is also curious on that, again, just let me know, and I'll be sure to start. If this ends up really taking off and really being something that you guys enjoy, then I'll be sure to start listing equipment in like maybe the description section. All right, guys. So that that blue, it's coming out nice. It's kind of difficult to see right now, just because where I am currently, it is nighttime, and being that there's no natural light outside, I have to use the lighting inside my home, and sometimes it just doesn't show, as good as results as it would it be daytime. And actually, you know what? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna try to see if there's another piece of lighting I can bring out here. All right. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Allows you guys to see a little bit better. Uh-oh. All right, and this is something I didn't want to do. You always want to be careful as well when you're customizing figures if you don't want to get the paint in other areas. I mean, you can always use paint thinner and remove certain areas of paint that you didn't want to be there, but I like trying to avoid mistakes as much as possible. So yeah, anyway, I accidentally got some paint on the back of his cape here, but thankfully it wasn't nearly dried, so it just wiped off quite easily. That's something you'll want to keep an eye out for, especially when I first got into doing this. There's so many mistakes that I made, and a lot of times I would create something and I would think it looks so cool, and then like the next day I would take it out into the sun and I'd start noticing all the different mistakes, different areas that I missed. Although I guess you could look at it 2 ways. I started looking at it as all the opportunities, and I'd go back, paint it again, do the same thing the next day, and sometimes I'd repaint a figure about 4 or 5 different times until I really got it down. It's a fun process too, because like I'm choosing these colors for this figure for right now, but the other idea that I had again was to make these purple. So the gauntlets, the boots, and actually now to think of it, I'm probably gonna paint that the back of the cape along with the cowl as well, the same blue color. So I don't know, I'm liking it so far, guys, but you let me know in the comments, because again, one of you guys is gonna win this figure. So if you don't like it, I'm very sorry, but I'm hoping that you do enjoy this, or you at least enjoy adding a piece to your collection. And then you can actually say, hey, there was a guy that actually customized this. He custom painted it and he did it on YouTube, and that video's still there, and you can go watch it. But yeah, hopefully it's a fun experience for one of you guys. And there's definitely a lot of people that have commented on the giveaway video that I just wish I had like 30 or 40 of them so I could just give them to everybody. I do have a few different ones, but I'm using some of them for gifts, and I'm also not for the YouTube community. I apologize, but I am using some of them for personal gifts and also other customizations. So if I had an additional extra like 30, I would love to get one out to each and every single last one of you guys that wants one, because these are so cool. And this is actually coming to be one of my favorite figures, and as I paint him more and more, I really want to have one displayed using these exact same colors. So who knows? I may paint another one, so I can add that one to my personal collection. But don't worry, guys. I probably won't shoot another video. You know, having to have you guys sit through this whole process all over again, unless you guys enjoy this and you want to see different renditions, basically, of the same figure. But I wanna have a multitude of different figures on this channel, multitude of different customizations on here. All right, and I generally almost always paint the bottom of the boots on figures. And actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that on this as well. Why not? There we go. Sometimes they're stamped and it's like an ink stamp. It's not even a legit engraving anymore on these figures. So not these figures in particular, McFarlane's, but a lot of action figures I've seen that you know, they're starting to basically print the like for example, when I was a kid, I had the Spider-Man figure from the Tobey Maguire movies with Sam Raimi, that directed them. So I should have basically said that backwards. But anyway, I used to have action figures, Spider-Man action figures, and on those, on the leg and also the bottom of the foot, always had the engravement, you know, made in China or made in Japan or wherever. The Spider-Man ones in particular, I believe, were made in China, but I could be wrong. In case you try to fact check me, I'm not saying that's what it said, but what I am saying is that, like, on the inner leg, I believe, there was some engravings on some of the figures. And it basically would say like the year 2000, little copyright, and then it would say Spider-Man, I believe, at the bottom is what it ended up saying. But again, I could be having a, you know, false memory. So if you fact check me and I happen to be wrong on what exactly the bottom of the feet said, please don't be angry with me. All right. Okay, so okay, that tip is dried, so that's good. And I'm probably gonna have to go back over this figure. I'll do so in the daytime. When I do the back of the figure, I'm gonna have to go back and, you know, make sure that any blue is covered up, that overspilled or oversprayed, however you want to say that, overpainted. But yeah, guys, check that out. I think he looks awesome, guys. I truly do. All right, and let's go ahead and do the gloves here. I'm gonna actually do the gloves, guys, on my own, and then I'm also probably gonna do the cowl, and then basically get the video back up and running as soon as I'm done with it, guys. Okay. And again, if you would prefer for future videos, if you would prefer to just watch the entire process, please comment below and let me know. I figure skipping segments would make it a little bit more entertaining for you guys. That way you don't have to sit through boring stuff. But again, if you find this relaxing and you'd actually prefer and enjoy to watch the whole process from start to finish, then let me know. And on the future videos, I will keep that into consideration. All right, thanks guys, and I will see you soon.